chairperson who submitted an apology, I would like to proceed to the election of an acting chairperson. May I ask members if there's any nominations for an acting chairperson?
Good morning. It's Member Wessels here. I did raise my hand. Yes, I would like to nominate Member Noko Masipa. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Member Wessels. Sorry, I did not see your hand. Is there any other nominations? Member Bosman, I see your hand.
It's not another nomination, Mr. Ketia. I'm just seconding the volunteering of Member Masipa.
Thank you so very much. Then, in the absence of any other nominations, congratulations, Member Masipa. You are duly elected as acting chairperson for this meeting, and I hand over the chair to you.
You are muted, Mr. Chair.
Apologies. Thank you.
Not a very good start, acting chairperson.
I note that the hand of Honorable Stoffel is up.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, everybody. Chair, I just want to be clarified. I don't have a problem with the nomination and also the candidate being nominated. I've got a slight of uncertainty about the seconding of the nominated person. The reason why I'm asking that, the person who seconded, yesterday there was some question mark. Up until that question mark is been clarified to us per the rules of the Western Cape Provincial Parliament, I think the DA should then allow someone else to second up until we have been clarified about the second, the person who seconded. I'm not sure whether, Chair, you can try to capture me right or to understand what I'm trying to say.
I think the question really primarily is going to be, what are you referring to? I don't understand, because Honorable Bosman is a duly member of this committee, because he is 80 seat as a member of this committee as an alternate. And yes, he can stand in for another member who has tendered his apology. Do you mind just clarifying what is the issue?
Chair, mine is an alternate can't vote, he can't second. He can't vote, he can't second. Now, I don't have a problem with the person as Mr. Bosman, Honorable Bosman, but the procedure that we are following now, I've got a slight of a problem in terms of to be clarified. And up until I'm not been clarified, Chair, I cannot accept the secondment of you as a chairperson in this meeting, although I don't have a problem with yourself as a chairperson.
I get what you are saying, Honorable Member. I noted the hand of Honorable Bosman and also the hand of Johan from procedural point of view. I would allow Honorable Bosman to, and he was first to make a comment. Honorable Bosman.
Chairperson, I think Honorable Stoffel needs to give some more clarity as to why she thinks that I'm not a bona fide member of this committee, because I am. I'm a gazetted 80-seat alternate, and I'm standing in for a member who tabled an apology. So I'm not sure what the issue is. Honorable Comfer is an alternate, but Honorable Comfer is not standing in for anybody because Honorable Stoffel, as the permanent member, is present.
Okay, Honorable Bosman. Honorable, Johan, our procedural officer.
Chairperson, the explanation that Member Bosman given is correct. He was ATC'd in ATC number 18 on the 15th of August as a alternate member in fact on various committees. And that makes him then, if he stands in for a permanent member on the committee, makes him then for that specific meeting, makes him a permanent member, which he then can provide input and he can vote. He's got for that meeting, he's got then the same privileges as a full member. You rightly pointed out, Member Comfort, that's in this meeting. We will now indicate him in the minutes as an additional member to the committee, but he's got all the powers to make input, to provide comments, propose resolutions, but he cannot vote. Only the permanent members on the committee can vote. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. I think that provides all members with clarity. Honorable Stoffel, I'm making a ruling. Do you want to make your final comment before I make a ruling, and then we proceed with the meeting?
Yes, Chair. Chairperson, I'm happy for progress sake this time. I'm happy the Chief Whip is in this committee, and it happened today to the Chief Whip of the DA. I must be clear on that. Chairperson, on these standing committees where we are serving, it should be then corrected. It should then be corrected because they don't allow us to do so in the standing committees. That's where I have a problem with, and I wanted to be clarified. But I hope the Chief Whips on their platform will take it up and clarify it once and for all. But for progress sake, I'm succumbing for now, Chair, for progress sake. I thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Stoffel. Honorable Bosman, we need to proceed. Do you have any point that you want to make? The last point?
Yes, Chairperson. Chairperson, I'm just slightly alarmed that I'm not sure what Honorable Stoffels is referring to. So if I could ask via you, if Honorable Stoffels could pop myself and Honorable Barnes, the Chief Whip of the ANC, an email so that we can look into this. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you. Honorable members, for the sake of time, we're going to now proceed. I think we have exhausted this matter. Let me use the opportunity to really welcome the Minister and his department. I haven't seen him on my screen, but I am sure he is in the house. Honorable members, I think we correct. First of all, I think what we need to do is that to accept the apology of Honorable Dave Bryant, and I will allow the introduction by members of this portfolio committee that are present today, followed by the Minister and the HOD. My name is Noko Masipa. I am a standing chairperson on this portfolio committee of environmental affairs and development planning, standing on behalf of Honorable Dave Bryant. I hand over to members. I will just do a roll call. Dirk, you are first on my screen.
Thank you very much, Acting Chair, Derek Wessels, and I'm a permanent member on this committee. Thank you very much.
Pleasure. Honorable Constable, you are next on my screen.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, colleagues. My name is Noel Constable, and I am a permanent member of this committee. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Grant, you are next on my screen.
Good morning, Chairperson and committee members. My name is Grant Murray, and I'm a full member of this committee. Thank you.
Honorable Bosman, you are next on my screen.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. I'm Gillian Bosman. I'm an 80-seat alternate member to this committee, standing in for the Honorable Bryant, who submitted an apology.
Thank you, Honorable Bosman. Honorable Stoffel, you are next on my screen. Your introduction.
Thank you, Chairperson. Good morning, colleagues, and also good morning to the MEC. I'm Beauty Stoffel, and I'm a permanent member of the committee.
Thank you, Honorable Stoffel. Honorable Johnson, you are next on my screen.
Good morning, Chairperson, Minister, and all officials. I'm Peter Johnson. I'm a permanent member of this committee.
Thank you, honorable members. Honorable Stoffel, I assume that this is a legacy hand.
Yes, Chair. Sorry for that.
Thank you. Minister and the HOD, over to you in that order.
Chairperson, sorry.
Minister, may I also just ask that once you done the introduction, maybe request the HOD to assist in introducing the officials in order that we can save time instead of each individual official introducing themselves. Thank you, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Chair. I just want to check if everybody, my team is on, because am I right, we're a bit early. So I just want to, if you can just check the HOD, everybody's on from our team before I start.
You can go ahead, Minister.
Okay. Thank you, Honourable Chair, and thank you to the honourable members and to the HOD and my officials from my department. Thank you for being here and being part of this morning session. It's our opportunity to present and to discuss Vote 9's the adjustment budget of 2024-25 financial year. This is the first opportunity, Honourable Chair, for us to engage on this topic with you as a new standing committee, and I look forward to a productive relationship with you and the rest of the members. Before I hand over to Di Gerber and his team to go through the technical details of the adjustment budget, just allow me to flag some of the issues that we're dealing with. Environmental challenges are a global concern. If we look at the World Economic Forum Risk Report of 2024, it identifies 4 topics for the next decade as top risks, and it's extreme weather. The second one, critical changes to Earth systems, which can be critical for humans' ability to adapt and to survive on Earth. The third one, biodiversity loss and the collapse of ecosystems. And fourth one is natural resource shortages. Yesterday, we discussed my Department of Local Government, Honourable Chair, and members, of which an important component is disaster risk management. I can tell the committee that the Department of Environmental Affairs and Development Planning does also a lot of work in this space, and the result will be many more natural disasters will happen if we don't do our job. There will be huge consequences for people and the future of our province. So it's important that we also play, so that you also understand that we play a crucial role within that environment. This department does a long-term planning, monitoring, and enforcement to ensure our natural environment is healthy and that we can live and grow our economy in balance with our ecological infrastructure. A healthy environment in our context means many things, but I can name a few. The river catchments that are free of alien plants can absorb more water, and as such creates a buffer when we have severe winter storms and improve the water security during the dry summer months. The river courses that are free of alien plants can flow more freely, reducing the risk of damaging property and infrastructure going forward. We are entering the wildfire season, and alien plants burn much hotter than and intense than indigenous fynbos. Proactive clearing of aliens helps to protect people and their property during wildfires. Waste management impact directly on our environment and our human health in the towns and cities we live in. So, Honourable Chair,
Minister? Minister? Can honorable members hear the minister?
No, Chair, we cannot.
No, Chair.
Sorry, Honourable Chair, my computer again. I will move to another device now. Just last couple of sentences. So it's important to mention our housing market study and inclusionary housing framework is crucial in the regard in that space. Cape Nature plays also a crucial role in our efforts to protect our biodiversity, but also to make our beautiful natural areas accessible to the public and tourists from all over the world. Cape Nature needs to be recommended for the important work it is doing to help to protect the African penguin, which is now currently listed as a critical endangered species. With those couple of words, Honourable Chair, I'm going to hand over to the HOD and the technical team to take us through the technical aspects. I will also move to another computer. You will see Magdalene. I will move to that computer because where I sit currently, it seems like I get cut off every 5 minutes. So with that, hand over to the HOD. Thank you, Honourable Chair.
Thank you, Minister. As you hand over to HOD, can you also just introduce your team before you provide us with the overview? Thank you. And if it could be advisable that you just introduce them instead of each one introducing themselves for the sake of time. Thank you, HOD.
Thank you, Chairperson. Good morning, honourable members, Minister and colleagues. I'm sitting in Pretoria outside the MINMEC meeting, so apologies if it might be a bit noisy in the surroundings. I'll introduce the officials just in the order that they're on the list. Ahmed Basil, the Director of Environmental Law Enforcement. Anwar Ghafoor, the Acting Chief Director, Management Support. Ayub Mohammed, Chief Director, Environmental Governance, Planning and Enforcement. Etienne Roux, who's the Acting Director, Equality. Francois Wist, the RSIP Program Manager. Hussein Isaacs, the Director, Climate Change. Patrick Arends, the Chief Director, Environmental Quality. Helena Jacobs, who's the Director, Development Planning, Intelligence Management and Research, so the Acting Director, Spatial Planning. Johannes Fritz, who's the CFO. And then we have just from the ministries, Estelle Wilson, Helena Vissel, Marius Durant, Head of Ministry, and then Marlene Le Ross, the Director, Biodiversity and Coastal Management. And then we also have Mohammed Bayat, who's the CFO of Cape Nature, as well as Natasha David Wolmerans, who's the Director, Pollution and Chemical Management. I'll continue. I've introduced Natasha and Paul Hardcastle, the Director for Planning and Policy Coordination. Salim Haider, the Director, Waste Management. Tia, the Director, Development Facilitation. We also have Wouter Kriel from the Ministry, and then Zahir Tofi, the Director in Land Use Management. Thank you. That's the officials.
You can proceed, HOD. Thank you.
Thank you very much. There's a short presentation that we'll share. I'll put it up, and we'll keep it short. It's only 10 slides. I'll ask the CFO to maybe come in on a few matters. The directors and the senior managers are also here. Obviously, there might be specific questions as we also go through the blue book. So just in terms of an overview, the original allocation for Vote 9, the 620 million. In terms of the adjustment budget, the net adjustment is a reduction of 8.8 million. And you'll see there that that's made up rollover funds that we've received, and we'll provide the detail now. In terms of the 1.3 million, and the other adjustment was a reduction of 10.2 million, and therefore the net adjustment in terms of the budget 8.8 million. In terms of the 8.8, the rollover funds that was committed in terms of promotional items from in 23-24, as well as committed procurement in terms of IT equipment. So we motivated and then to Treasury for that to be rolled over. And then we also shifted funds to vote one, the Department of the Premier, in terms of the technical support for the GIS Spatial Viewer project, the service that they're providing in terms of that project, the 364,000. And then realignment of project funding over the MTEF, 6.2 million, where we motivated for that to be shifted out over the MTEF. And then similarly with the cost of employment, in terms of also to manage the fiscal sustainability over the MTEF, motivated to Treasury for that money to be shifted to the outer years. In terms of the classification, in terms of compensation of employees, there's the adjustment of 9 million. So the adjusted estimate 254 million, and just some detail there. It was the purpose for the project initiation document as it's referred to, but specific projects that were motivated for in terms of the environmental impact assessment and related work. And there we've motivated for that to be rolled over into the later years, and we've also the reprioritization to cover the leave gratuity payments. In terms of goods and services, 3.2 million adjustment, where we also that was the rollover funding, and then we also did the shift as referred to in terms of the GIS project and the realignment of the other projects and the capital assets, the air quality software. So there you see the adjusted estimate, the 37.9 million. In terms of transfer and subsidies, in terms of the reprioritization from goods and services, in terms of the shift from that transfers to municipalities, in terms of the waste management, and from the cost of employment also to cover the leave gratuity with detail in the book. In terms of capital assets, it's the IT equipment. We've reprioritized from goods and services, it's the quality software. In terms of what it looks like across the programs, there you can just see the overall for program 1, regional allocation, the adjustment, and then the adjusted estimate. Similarly for program 2, down from 40 million to 39 million. Compliance and enforcement program 3, 35 million to 35.2 million. Just a small adjustment. The environmental quality management from 88 million to 81 million. Biodiversity management 323, also small adjustment down, almost 323 million. And environmental empowerment services program 6. There we a small addition, 576 in terms of the shift, and then the development planning from 66.5 million adjustment estimate 63.2 million. In terms of the amendments to our annual performance plan, is firstly as the department, just a small technical change. The indicator related to the percentage of environmental impact assessment on applications timeously responded to. That's currently was indicated as an annually, and it was supposed to be quarterly. So we've just made that administrative correction. And for Cape Nature, similar corrections. The one in terms of the evolution and the tourism visitor center upgrades, where it was indicated as year-end and non-cumulative, and adjustment is that it must just be year-end. And you'll see that the changes indicated there. Similar changes in terms of the upgrade of the pedestrian footbridge, where it was indicated as a year-end, that we just adjusted that to non-cumulative, as well as the technical indicator 3.4, which was quarterly and is now annually. In terms of the Holland tourism, in terms of the first calculator there, that was also the year-end non-cumulative, that's not changed to just year-end. In terms of 3.4, so from year-end to non-cumulative, and 3.4, the reporting cycle, so from quarterly to annually. In terms of the NTF process, we currently, we've had the PG NTF 1 process, lots of engagement in terms of the strategic planning for the next 5 years, both the provincial level planning, also the departmental planning. We're busy. We've submitted the first and the second draft of the 5-year strategic plan and our APPs, the first and the second drafts, and we're now busy with the third draft of the 5-year strategic plans and the annual performance plans, heading towards PG NTF 2 early in the new year. And there's specific engagements underway with the Treasury in terms of specifically our cost of employment, in terms of that, in terms of the sustainability. That's the last slide. I don't know whether Johannes wants to add anything at this stage. Otherwise, Johannes and the others obviously might come in terms of the specific question that the committee members might have. Johannes, wanted to add anything as CFO?
Good morning, Chair and committee members, HOD and Minister. Nothing in this stage. I think it's been adequately covered. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister, and thank you, HOD. Honorable members, in your blue book, the vote 9 is on page 193-2215. I take it that honorable members have gone through the blue book. I would welcome questions, and please, honorable members, just confine your questions to the blue book or to the vote 9, so that we can really have enough time to finish the meeting and deliberate all the issues that we need to touch before the end of the meeting. Over to you, members. A show of hands in terms of your questions and your input to the minister and the HOD. I see Honorable Mare and Honorable Stoffer. In that order, thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair, and thank you to the HOD and the Minister for the introductory remarks and the presentation. Mr. Chair, we are dealing with the environment, and it's a very, very important part of our survival. And this particular budget is very important. My concern is page 193, that clearly shows that there has been a decrease in what has been allocated to this department to be spent. And it's now not going to be spent. There's a few rollovers that's obviously we're going to get to later. But my main concern is the environment quality management that is reducing with such a large amount. Could someone just on this in this department explain that particular reduction and what has given effect to that 7 million rand that has that particular function has been reduced by? And then in terms of the development planning, there's also a large portion of the budget that has been taken away there. What percentage of that is for rollover, and what percentage is going to be sent to vote 1 to the Premier's department. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Mare. Over to you, Honorable Stoffer.
Thank you, Chairperson. Am I still audible, Chair?
You audible, ma'am.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, first of all, let me greet the MEC and also welcome the introductory from his side and his team to this committee. Chair, as the African National Congress, we note with serious concern the decrease in the department's budget. We particularly alarmed by the ongoing refusal to appoint an environmental commissioner. A critical role remains unfilled. Compounding issues, the department is weakening state capacity by reducing the compensation of employees, budget, and further undermining the environmental quality management program with a budget cut of over 8 million. And the question in that is, what is the rationale behind this decision? And why has the department failed to appoint an environmental commissioner? And then also, Chair, when we go to page 194, table 9.1, compensation of employees. Now, the question is, how many positions has been affected by this significant reduction in the budget for the compensation of employees? What is the rationale behind this decision? And does it not risk weakening the state capacity? My second question on the 196, program 4, and then sub-program 4.1, impact management. Chair, it is noted with a concerning to see over 1.2 million from program 4, which cover critical areas like impact management and pollution and waste management, being shifted to less critical expenditures. This comes as a time when issues like daily sewage, dumping on our beaches, and the growing waste management crisis in municipalities like the city of Cape Town requires urgent attention. The department even had an issue, a pre-directive to the city to address chronic dumping in overcrowded settlement like Danone. Isn't this poor planning and budgeting weakening the department's capacity to address these pressing issues? How does the department plan to manage the impact of this decision moving forward? Additionally, can the department provide an update on the status of the pre-directive issued to the city of Cape Town and the steps being taken to resolve the waste management challenge in Danone? Thank you for now, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Stoffer. Honorable Minister and HOD, over to you.
I'll answer, and obviously the Minister wants to add, Chairperson. Thank you very much, honourable members, for the questions. In terms of Member Mare's question, which was about also similar to Member Stoffel, the program for reductions. That is mainly in terms of the cost of employment. We did motivate for additional posts in the previous cycle in order to maintain and improve our efficiencies in terms of the environmental impact assessment and related work. Because of the budget pressures in the country, we ultimately did not receive the funding to fill those posts permanently. We didn't have funding for over the entire MTIF, so that forced us to then follow a different process in terms of recruitment via contract appointments. That did cause a delay, but also on contract appointments, the pool of candidates that apply for temporary opportunities a lot smaller. But we've again motivated for the importance of that work, and that project is continuing. And therefore, we've motivated for that funding to be shifted across the NTF because we're proceeding with the filling of those contact positions. Yes, there's critical program 4. We do also have the situation that national government have directed from through the Minister of Public Service and Administration that we may not that we can't just fill a post. There's a specific procedure required that must first be followed in terms of getting approvals for a critical post, and only for critical posts and no new post to be created. So that directive that's still in place also causes delays. But we are managing it. This is the topic of the discussion with the Treasury that's ongoing. And there's a number of initiatives, not only fiscal, also non-fiscal, in terms of our work with the Department of Health, the Department of Agriculture, and other partners in terms of course, the municipalities in terms of the One Health approach. And particular work in terms of making sure that we, in terms of the environmental quality, that we manage the environmental quality. So those reductions, there were also reductions due to the resignations. There are certainly push factors, but there are also pull factors. Some of the municipalities, the Metro in particular, offer higher salaries, and therefore we have lost a number of staff members, and with the budget uncertainty still over the coming MTEF, we first have to have clarity in terms of what the allocation would look like over the MTEF before we are able to decide on critical posts and the resourcing of those posts. But the environmental quality priority area of focus, and we're managing the responsiveness there in terms of both the law enforcement work as well as the environmental impact assessment work, the water quality, the pollution and chemical management work. I don't know whether Johannes, the CFO, you want to add to that, to those responses. In terms of the chairperson, the question about the pre-directive issued to the City of Cape Town, that is obviously not part of the business of the day, but I'll take your guidance in terms of response to that question. But first to ask CFO to whether he wants to add to those answers, those responses. Johannes?
All right, thank you, HOD. So if I can direct the members just to page 199 of the document. So most of those adjustments are reflected on page 199. The earlier question around the amount transferred to Vote 1, Department of the Premier, it is an amount of 364,000, as indicated earlier within the slide. I show that is for our GIS spatial viewer. That's the amount that's been transferred. And then in terms of air quality, as indicated by the HOD, correct percentage of the reduction pertains to compensation of employees, and then on the EIA high efficiencies project, as mentioned by the HOD. So the initial intent was, and that was part of the planning, that those posts be filled permanently, not in particular with the reductions stemming from 23-24, we had to revisit our planning, and we now went for contract posts. There is a challenge with our COE over the MTEF. So those contract posts and the number of the posts that we initially were able to fill, because of the limited pool, we are not able to fill as such, but we're proceeding with that project. Similar on program 7, also the one project, the school cleaning project, there's also challenges with the filling of some of those vacancies. We are not able to fill all of those contract positions that we identified. And then there are a number of vacancies. In total, we have Out of 25 vacant posts, we already at this stage identified 10 critical posts. So the funding for that has been provided, and the filling of those posts will proceed. We are in engagements with Provincial Treasury. Coming up in January, MTech 2, we will engage with Treasury on the COE sustainability of this particular vote. Hence the request to transfer 3 million, just over 3 million over the MTF. So yeah, that's just to add to some of the information already reflected by the HOD. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Johan and Gerard. Minister, do you have anything to add?
Well, Chair, I think the officials covered the questions, so now I'm fine.
Thank you, Minister. Gerard, your request or your indication with regards to City of Cape Town is sustained. I'll ask maybe Honourable Member if she wants to follow up with that question, maybe to put it in writing. Honourable Members, you've got one last round of questions. If there are any questions for follow-up, please do so now. See only Honourable Grant, Honourable Stoffer, in that order.
Thank you, Chairperson, and thank you to the HOD and the staff for the feedback. I just want to very shortly, and it's relevant to this budget, that the quality of the environmental quality management, it was the first thing that caught my eye when I looked at the budget. And the reason why what Member Stoffel raised regarding the Environmental Commissioner is so important is that the Western Cape Constitution has built in a Commissioner for the Environment. Currently, we do not have one because there was no funding. As the Minister in previous committee meetings said, we don't have enough funds. I just want to hear from the committee whether the Minister and the HOD, whether we are aware that the environmental impact assessors cannot fulfill the role of an environmental commissioner. They are not capacitated to fulfill that role. And why is it that we are, and perhaps that is why we are struggling to find suitable candidates, is because it's a very limited field of available skill set in the South African environment. And that is why we desperately need to look at ways of capacitating the office of the Commissioner for the Environment, and so that he can fulfill his role or her role within the Western Cape, which is a tourist destination. And I think that we are devaluing the value of the environment by not appointing such a commissioner with the excess funds that we are now reallocating. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Member. I take that was a statement. Honourable Stoffer.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, yes, I appreciate the response from the HOD. Although, in terms of the response, I still believe, Chair, that there is room for improvement in answering these questions, really. But nonetheless, Chair, let me go to the question. The question is on 197. It deals with sub-program senior management. And then it states the reprioritization of funding to manage the fiscal sustainability of compensation of employees' costs. Chair, we have noted that, or let me say, what exactly was the 710,000 earmarked for? Was it intended to fill the funded post? Why was it unspent? Furthermore, given that this amount is now allocated for salaries grade progression for the eligible officials, why was that not included in the main budget? Then my second question is that on the same 199, the realignment of provincial budget. We note that the department has failed to spend over 9.8 million earmarked for critical areas such as compensation of employees and environmental impact assessment, with these funds either being moved to future years or surrendered to Provincial Revenue Fund, though no further details are provided. Can we receive clarification on why these funds were not spent and the justification for moving them to future years whilst we are sitting with a crisis in terms of appointments? I thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Stoffel. I take it there are two questions that the HOD need to answer. Johan, before the HOD come to answer the question, I just want to check, are there members of the public on the platform that might want to ask a question so that we can also take their question and then we proceed with the answers from the Minister and the HOD? Are there members of the public that indicated that they would like to participate in this deliberation?
Chairperson, I had no indication that there are members on the public on the platform, so we may proceed with Member Stoffel's reply.
Okay. Honorable members, this is the last round of questions. If there are any other burning questions, we shall deliberate them in the resolution. Honorable Mare, do you have your last hand, or is it a legacy hand?
Honourable Chair, this is my last question. I did make a statement earlier for the record, but my question is just in terms of the budget as it is has been reallocated. Has there any funds been allocated towards the refurbishment or reviving of the Drift Sands Nature Reserve? Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Mare. Over to you, Minister, and the HOD.
Thank you, Chairperson. In terms of the questions, in terms of the Environmental Commissioner, that process is currently in the parliamentary process. At the time of the Western Cape Constitution coming into effect, there was still uncertainty of what will be in place ultimately in the country. The other provinces to legislation did not require environmental commissioners. Since then, whether it's the Public Protector, the Human Rights Commission, the Public Service Commission, of course, the standing committees, all the other oversight bodies that are in place, the Environmental Commissioner have very few powers. It is another oversight body and does not have specific teeth in terms of being able to, for instance, similar to the Public Protector, put in place the remedial measures that would be binding. So the public or the Environmental Commissioner would only be making recommendations to the department. And we obviously, all the other oversight bodies that are in place already provide for that. And that's why at this stage there was been recommendations into the parliamentary process for the consideration of potentially amending the Constitution in terms of the Western Cape Constitution, in terms of providing for Environmental Commissioner. There are, of course, specific measures in place in terms of us managing environmental quality and reporting on and measuring and reporting on environmental quality. It's also an area of work where some areas we have other organs of state that are also responsible, whether it's the National Department of Water and Sanitation or the municipalities, and therefore there is collective responsibility, but there's also oversight that comes through those other organs of state and the oversight that's in place in terms of their respective responsibilities. But yes, the questions that are raised in terms of the cost of employment for that program 4, but across the other programs, it was simply that we've had these contract, what they turn into contract posts where we battled to fill those, so that just simply caused a delay. We're still intending to fill those, and hence the motivation to surrender the funding now, but only to get the funding over the rest of the NTEF. And then also when the vacancies have occurred, which have happened in the last while, because of the directive that's in place from national, and because of the budget uncertainty, we are not able to at this stage immediately fill the post. We first have to have clarity on what the budget will look like over the NTEF, and hence the ongoing discussions with the Department of the Premier. We're also busy with processes, ongoing processes in the department to look at from a citizen-centric point of view, from human rights point of view, in terms of our mandates, what are the priority areas, in terms of making sure we're fully exploring the fiscal and non-fiscal measures to make sure that we do what's required, but also working with the partners, the other organs of state in this space. In terms of drift sands, the drift sands is no longer a provincial nature reserve. In consultation with the national minister, Minister Kresi at the time, the decision for the nature reserve to be deproclaimed, and therefore the site is now being managed by the Department of Infrastructure as the custodian, but working closely with the City of Cape Town. There was already areas deproclaimed years ago for housing development, and that was also the cause for some settlement in the area when people saw that happening. But yeah, in terms of drift sands, we're still providing input, but it's now being managed by the Department of Infrastructure, who also hold the human settlements portfolio in the province, together with the City of Cape Town. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you, HOD. Minister and HOD and the officials and honorable members, I think we have exhausted our engagement with the ministry. Minister, really thank you very much for your engagement with us, and thank you for the budget vote 9 that you have eloquently, deliberated with the committee. We will be engaging as committee to vote on this particular vote. So, Minister, hold your thumbs. From my side, I just want to say, really, on behalf of the committee, thank you very much. And we know that you are facing a fire season and that you are ready to really make sure that the Western Cape is safe. We're going to excuse you, and really, once again, thank you. And then we will get into deliberating around the report. Before I do that, I'm going to allow you to make your closing remarks, and then you will be excused to leave the platform and attend other matters.
Thank you, Honourable Chair, and thank you to the committee members. Honourable Chair, some of these issues we'll pick up in the budget political discussions next week. But to say thank you to the department, the HOD and the team. We've got a fantastic team working day and night to secure the future of our environment going forward. And we understand the pressures. We understand that there's a national financial crisis, and that crisis plays out right through all the systems. And we need to do our part. It puts a lot of strain on our officials, but nevertheless, they give 120% to keep the Western Cape green and safe. and we're very grateful for that. And thank you for the Standing Committee for the questions. Looking forward working with Standing Committee going forward. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Minister. HOD, any closing remarks from your side?
Thank you, Chairperson. Like to likewise thank the committee and thank you, Minister. Thank you to the officials, specifically the finance team, the CFO, and the team. And yes, as Minister indicated, we welcome further engagement with the Standing Committee on the matters raised. Thank you.
Thank you, colleagues. You are excused. Honorable members, we have now concluded the deliberation with the ministry. Now we move into an important part of this debate, which is, or this vote, is by show of hands. I would like to get the members who are in support of the report, that this report that has been presented by the ministry, that we can adopt. I see the hand of Honorable Vessel. Honorable Vessel, you go. Are you in support?
Yes, Chairperson, I'm in support.
Okay, Honorable Johnson, I take it you are in support.
That's correct, Chair, in support.
The other member in support? I'm in support as well. Any other member in support?
Mr. Chair.
Yes, Honorable Mare.
The issues I've already raised, and I am in support of this budget.
Okay. Honorable members, any members that want to raise their hand not in support? Going twice. I see Honorable Stoffel and Honorable Constable. They are the only two members that are not in support. Johan, have you noted that?
That's correct, Chair. Got it like that?
The majority has it.
That's correct.
The report is supported. As such, I see the hand of Honorable Stoffel. You are welcome to express your view if you are in support.
Thank you, Chair. Can I state my vote, Chair, in terms of not supporting?
Yes,
so
you
that
can.
it can be recorded.
Yes.
Chairperson, according with Rule 19, the African National Congress minority position is to reject the budget. And we request that this position is formally recorded. This budget reflects a concerning weakening of the state capacity, evident in the reduction of compensation of employees' budget and the failure to appoint an environmental commissioner, a critical role for ensuring environmental oversight. Furthermore, the Environmental Quality Management Program, essential for addressing pollution and waste management, has been significantly undermined with a budget cut of over 8 million. This decision.
Apologies, Honorable Stoffel. Johan, can you mute your mic? Johan?
My apologies, Chair.
Thank you. Honorable Stoffel, you can proceed.
This decision, coupled with overall decrease in the department's budget, demonstrate a lack of commitment to strengthening governance and addressing urgent environmental challenges. For this reason, we cannot support this budget. I thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Your noted. I note that Honorable Bosman also is in support. Is that hand just to support the statement you made on the chat?
Yes, Chairperson. Sorry, I'm using a mobile device and some of the functions doesn't seem to work all the time, but I'm in support.
Thank you very much. Johan, can you indicate how many in support and how many not in support? Final tally.
Chairperson, 2 members are not in support and 5 members are in support.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Johan. So now I call for a proposer to adopt the report. Sir, to adopt the report. I note Peter Johnson, are you proposing?
I am proposing, Chair.
Thank you, noted.
I'll second that, Chairperson.
Thank you, Honorable Bosman. Honorable members, we come to the conclusion. So the report will be presented to the House, and next week we will deliberate on this report, and all political statements that honorable members feel is necessary to be made, it shall be made in the House. So honorable members, we come to the end, but before we conclude, we go to the resolution. Are there any resolutions from members? Going once, going twice, going thrice? I see no hand. Honorable Stoffel?
No, Chair, it's fine, Chair. No.
It's not necessary.
I'm covered, Chair. I'm covered.
Okay. Honorable members, really thank you very much for deliberation and for really ensuring that the meeting runs smoothly. See you next week, those that I will not see in the next committee meeting. Thank you. Have a lovely day further.
Debate is next.
Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you,
members.
Acting Chair. Acting Chair, you did very well today. Very calm, very calm. I see a great future.
Is it? Honorable Mare, we are still live here.
Yes.
Keep well, Honorable Mare. We'll
all
talk.
The best. We will see each other in the debate. Okay.
All right, sure.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Norms.
All right, Johan.
Okay, at least it was better than yesterday's.
Yes, this was better.
And Shireen's one.
Your Shireen was in a state yesterday.
Because we had a meeting this morning on this minority view and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And Stoffel now didn't say she wants it in her. She just said they don't support it. So I'll just put that one-liner in the report. What she read afterwards, I'll put in the minutes for her then, at least. I'll ask
because
her.
At least she didn't bring it up.
No,
like Gondlo yesterday.
Yeah. I actually thought she would do it. I think she would.
Yeah.
Okay, Norms,
Yeah.
you still got a meeting later on. I'm off to Black Friday.
I still have 2 more meetings.
2 more meetings. Okay, so
I'm missing the Black